Hey, this is Carrie with Canary Quilts, and we are on the last month of my Birds of a Feather quilt along for 2023. And this month we have the beautiful colors of the Cardinal, and the block's name is Winter Migration. This turned out even prettier than I thought it would. When I got the colors, I just wasn't sure, and it took me a while to really kind of arrange the colors to put it together. But now that I have it built, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So if you're new here, I have had this year a Birds of a Feather quilt along I'm doing. It's based on Fat Quarter Shop's Solid of the Month Club. And I've been using all 12 solids in each block I've done in 2023, and each block is a bird name. So we are on our last block, and like I said, it's called Winter Migration. This block isn't too hard to put together. It's got these flying geese sets, and the flying geese inside here are also the same size. So I'm going back to the 4 at a time flying geese method to put these together. And if you're unfamiliar with that method, I'll show you how I do it. And then we just have to kind of build the star in the outside and we're done. So, and then we're done with our quilt. I've started putting it together. These are the first 9 months over here. We start with January down here, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then, oh, this is October, November. October should actually be down here, and then I'll have the Cardinal up here. And these are all the bird colored fat quarters that I've gotten all year also. So it's just turned out so much prettier than I thought it would. Next month, on the 20th of January, I'm going to show you how I assemble the quilt, what kind of border I'm going to be doing, and you can see the finished product then. And the sashing here, if you're doing sashing like I am, I will post down in the description down below the 2 videos that I've done that show how I do this sashing if you want to do it like me. I chose to use the same color around the block for my triangles. So I have all these different colors popping out at me, and the sashing, it's really pretty. I'm just looking at it in my camera right now. It's just so pretty. Anyway, hit the subscribe button, notification bell if you want to do things like this in the future with me. This has been a blast. I've had a really good response from you guys, and I really, really, really appreciate it. I love your comments. I love hearing what you have to say. And I hope you had fun with this. So, also if you're new here, the pattern, you can find the pattern down below. I have all 12 patterns up in my free resource library at my website, and you can download those at your convenience. So, let's get started on our December Cardinal Winter Migration block. All right, let's get started on our last block of Birds of a Feather. That is really exciting. This quilt has really come together nicely, and I'm so happy with it. But anyway, it is December. The colors are Cardinal. The block is called Winter Migration. And we've got these flying geese going around the outside of the block, and we've got this star in the middle, but we also have 4 flying geese in here in the star that are the same size as these out here. So for this block, I am going to be doing the 4 at a time method of flying geese so that we can get all of these sets done really quickly. Beyond the flying geese, we've just got this pinwheel in the middle. So here's our colors right here. That's what I'm going off of, is Fat Quarter Shop's Solid of the Month. And for December, it's Cardinal, and it's Confetti Cottons. And they are numbered here, and that's how I do my numbering in the pattern. So when you see fabric 1, that's what color it's going to be. Fabric 12 is going to be this color. And I have this in the back of my pattern so that you know what I'm basing my colors off of. But again, you don't need to do exactly the same thing I'm doing. All right. Let me go through these real quick, my cuts. So I have A, which is the corners on the outside. B, these are all the corners in all our flying geese units. So this set of flying geese and this set of flying geese are the same colors, both the base and the wings of it. And then C is the corners of our star in the middle. D is the base of all our flying geese. And E is these two colors right here in our pinwheel in the middle. So we will be cutting these on the diagonal to get these triangles. And then F is the other side of the pinwheel. It's these 4 triangles. That's all there is to this. So once we get all these flying geese done, it goes together pretty quickly. But anyway, let me get set up with all my flying geese sets so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, here are I'm set up for my 4 at a time flying geese with the sets that are going to go together. So for the flying geese inside the star here, we've got D, the D piece with the 4 color fabric with the B piece and the 2 color fabric right here. And then on the outside we have, for this one, D6 and B9. And over here we have D8 and B7. And then these 2 are the same, which I have 2 D10s and 8 B11s. So I'm going to show you how to do 4 at a time with one of these, and all the rest of them will be exactly the same. So let's get set up for that. All right, to get started on our 4 at a time flying geese, we will put our D piece on the bottom, and then we will take 2 of our B pieces that are marked on the diagonal, and we're going to put them in opposite corners so that our diagonal here lines up. We can pin these in place, and then we're going to sew a seam on both sides of this line, and the seam will be 1/4 of an inch away from the line. So I'm going to go over there, I'm going to get my seams sewn, show you what they look like, and then show you where we go from there. All right, here's my 2 seams on both sides of this center diagonal that we drew out on our 2 pieces. I don't think that's long enough. Now we can cut right along that diagonal that we drew. And now we've got these 2 pieces. We will take these over and we will iron our triangles towards the triangles, is what I'm trying to say. All right, now that I've ironed these towards the triangles, we can take our remaining B pieces and we're going to put them in the corner so that the diagonal line runs right from the corner right through those 2 pieces, those 2 triangles. And then we're going to do the same thing here where we will sew a seam on both sides of this diagonal line. All right, here's our 2 lines, 2 seams on each side of our diagonals, and we're going to cut on the diagonal just like we did before to get our 4 flying geese units. And now all we have to do is iron towards the corner. And we'll have 4 beautiful flying geese. There we go. There's our 4 flying geese in this colorway. So all we have to do is repeat those steps with each of the remaining sets that we have here, and all our flying geese will be done. All right, here's all our flying geese that I finished up with the 4 at a time method, which I love. I love that method. It just gives me great flying geese and I get them done really quickly. All right, so what we have here is we have these flying geese are going to be in our star in the center, but the rest of these are going to be on the outside. So we can go ahead and sew these together. And since they're all 4 the same color in each section, we'll just sew 4 of the same color together, and then we will always iron towards the base of the flying goose above it. So I'm going to get that done and we can get that aside, and then we'll move on to making the square in the middle. There's our 4 sets of flying geese, our winter migration, I guess you could call it. They're all put together and ironed towards the base of each flying goose. So we can set these aside. Don't forget these flying geese go into the center star. But now what we want to do is put our pinwheel in the middle together. So we want our E and our F pieces, and we've got E3 and E12 and F1. The way we want to cut these is our E's are going to be cut on both diagonals. Turn it. So there's our E pieces in both colors. And our F's are going to be on just one diagonal. There we go. We're set up to make the pinwheel in the middle. All right, to get set up to put these together, we just want to make sure we've got them on the right side. So I'm going to set my pieces out because I'm visual like that, and I want to make sure that I've got the right sides going together. Because we have triangles and we have 3 sides to choose from. So our pieces are going to go together like that, and then we'll eventually add this to the other side. But for right now, we want to put 4 of them together along this edge, and we will iron these seams open. All right, there's my 2 triangles put together, ironed open. Now we want to take our, that would be our F piece that we cut in half, and we're going to put them together along this long edge, and then we will also iron this open. All right, here's my 4 pieces completed. I ironed these seams open, and now we need to put it together in our pinwheel shape. And what we want to do is put them together in rows, and let's iron towards the big triangle in each row. That way we will be able to nest these center seams. All right, there we go. I've ironed towards the larger of the 2 triangles. Now when we put them together, this center seam will nest. And we can iron this open or iron to one side if you'd like, but I think I'll iron mine open. All right, here's our pinwheel in the middle. And so now what we want to do is start building this star out. We're going to take our flying geese that we have left over, and we're going to put them on each side of our pinwheel, pointing towards the pinwheel. Take our C pieces, put them in the corner, and we're going to put it together in rows. So what we want to do is, so we have nested seams here, but we are going to need to work with our flying geese on the outer part. What we want to do is we want to iron each row in the same direction. So this top row is going to go to the left, and so is the bottom row. And then the center row will go to the right. Okay, here's my rows, and I've ironed the seams in the same direction. So the top and bottom are ironed to the left, the center is ironed to the right. So now when we put it together, these seams will nest, and then we'll be able to nest with the outside rows also. So let's sew these together, and we are going to iron this one towards the top, but when we put this one on, we're going to iron towards the center. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to iron these seams in the same direction. All right, there's our beautiful star center. These are ironed in the same direction. So we may need to turn this depending on how our blocks work, but we've at least hopefully set ourselves up so we can have nested seams up here. All right, so 2 of these are exactly the same, so they're going to go like this in opposite directions. We want all our flying geese to go in a circle. So we want this one to be going up and this one to be going down. So they're always kind of chasing each other. And then our A5s are going to go in the corner. And like we almost always do, we have ourselves a 9 patch. So let's see how our seams are looking. I think I need to turn it. All right, that's how we want it. You just need to keep turning it till your seams look like they're going to nest. All right, so let's put this together in rows. And let's iron towards the patches on the outside of the top and bottom rows, and then we'll iron towards the star in the center. All right, there we go. Last thing we need to do is put our rows together, nest these seams right here, and At this point, you can sew these seams open to one side, probably whatever you feel is best. There we go, winter migration. It turned out way prettier than the one that I designed over here. I had a hard time getting the same colors, but this turned out way prettier. Way prettier. So, Cardinal colors, winter migration block, December, last block of the year for our Birds of a Feather quilt along. I am going to link the sashing video that I did down below in the description if you're doing sashing like me. And then next month, January 20th, I will put out a video of how I put this together and instructions on assembling our quilt if you're going to be sashing and binding, or sashing and bordering it like I am. So there you go, gorgeous block. Fun year. Thanks so much for following me on this. It really does make me happy that a lot of you are doing this, and I really do appreciate you. So I had a blast making this. I really did. I can't wait to see it all go together next month, and I had a blast making this video, and I'll see you in the next. Bye.